welcome back to the Angry Nation podcast. What's up, everybody? I know we just did this last night, but most of these same faces on the panel, but we're doing another one tonight. What's up, T?
What is happening? I wore my special, big shout out to my lovely wife, Amber. I figure wear my Biden sniffing my hair shirt just for tonight. Thought it was appropriate.
You look like Dog the Bounty Hunter in that picture, dude.
It is. Look, I got my little. She made that man. I love this shirt.
Are you an almond brother now?
Yeah, pretty much. No, that was the big fur hat with the horns and stuff. I can't say the word that is associated with that. That month with a certain day. So, hey, before we get too far into it, as well, shout out to all the magistrates that are hanging out watching us tonight.
That's right.
Yeah. They're in Chapel Hill. All you Chapel Hill magistrates, welcome to the Angry Nation.
There must be a hell of a delay, y'all. Right. I'm sorry if there is. Yeah.
Nah, you're good, man.
Sue, I have that sticker on the back of my truck. I have that sticker on the tailgate of my truck right now as we speak.
Yeah.
No,
that was for the magistrates, just so they understand why people are in such a grumpy mood when they show up in court.
That's it.
Yeah, right. That's where they are. Donnie, did you watch the blatherings this evening here a few minutes ago?
I did. So I always try to find the fine line between being respectful of the office of the presidency and the idiocracy that said, just listen, all politicians lie. It's just part of what they are, but just blatant lies. Did he actually say there's less people coming across the border now than when he took office? He did I
say that? Oh my God.
Did I mishear that?
Yes. Yes, he did.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, for real?
No, that's what he said.
And there's millions of people out there going,
yep. He also said that that we had the worst economy. We had the worst economy since the Great Depression when he came into office.
Which is, I guess he was
not like 2008. Since the Depression is what he said. Yes.
Yeah. I guess he missed 2008, 2009. He just,
Yeah, he forgot a few dates in history.
Yeah, we have a bad economy now, thanks to his reckless policies.
The one that got me, well, yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm all for clean energy.
Go ahead. I'm going to say for everybody, I think I have a super slow connection tonight, and there's a big lag on my end. So I'm just letting everybody know there's a super lag on my end. And so I'm going to let you guys roll a little bit, and I'll interject where I can. But I'm really lagging for some reason. But go ahead, Donnie. Say what you're saying, man.
No, I just talking about the economy, and I think most people, if it's reasonably done, and it doesn't cause infrastructure failures, it doesn't cause power outages, I don't think anybody's necessarily against green energy. It's just become this mantra for them to scare people to death. That's the biggest business going right now. If you're going to college for any kind of science, climate science is where you want to go because that's where the money's at. But I think his policies are reckless, just shutting everything down, shutting down coal power plants, shutting this down, shutting that down. When you got China and India and most of the rest of the world is just kicking it out. So we're going to suffer because of that. It's just reckless policies. It's all pandering. It's all self-serving, and all leaders do that to a point. But what's in it for the American people? Then he said, the first president in history or in the last century where there's been no wars, I'm like, come on, dude. Like, we're closer now by most measurable sense standards, including during the 60s, 70s, and 80s, to a potential nuclear holocaust than we've ever been. I mean, that's kind of the community that studies that's kind of an agreement on it. I mean, we've got, Kim Jong-il, we've got Putin, we've got a China that is aggressively and rapidly building their military, then trying to enforce territories that they disclaim. I mean, it's a scary situation. They're out producing us militarily 5-1. Now, that doesn't mean they have the training and the manpower and the people, the trained manpower. They've got plenty of manpower to do it, but I mean, we're in some real serious issues, and we need a strong.
But on the manpower side of the training side of it too, with what we've got going on in the current military establishment of that we've got, I mean, they may have better training than we have here real soon as well. I mean, it's getting pretty rough. The military has gotten a little bit on the soft side here lately.
I don't know how many little Chinese kids growing up hunting and shooting in the woods and playing soldier, but who knows? They have zero experience in war, none. But regardless, they like to talk about existential threats. That is probably the biggest threat with BRICS and the union of China. Even Turkey's talking about joining BRICS, and Turkey's a member of NATO. I mean, we need strong leadership. We need to carry a big stick. And we need somebody in office. And I'm not here just to promote Trump. I'm here to just talk about what we need. We need somebody who the dictators, which he talked about, and the rest of the world will think twice about. Do you think you think Biden invoked fear in the hearts of any leader in the world, yet alone Kamala Harris? It's absolutely. I mean, they might as well invade. I mean, I just can't. She's been a running joke for so long, and now I'm a little surprised they chose her, to be honest with you. Now they're going to play the race card, the people of color, that she's a woman. All great reasons, but not should be the primary reason that you elect anybody. Oh, I'm going to vote for this person because they're a person of color. I'm going to vote.
No, they're going to do it because she's a woman too. First woman president. We're going to start hearing it all over again.
Not a thing wrong with that in my book, anyways. No,
there's not. But for her to elect her based on the fact that she's going to be the first female president, is going to be ludicrous. That woman cannot string a coherent sentence together. Like, I mean, the Trump campaign is going to have so much ammunition, their ads to run against her for her being wrong, getting things completely wrong, misquoting, and all the other ignorant shit that she has said. It's laughable they're going to run her. But it also shows how desperate they are.
Well, so obviously desperate. I mean,
well, Biden's laughable for that matter. So, well, yeah. There's that.
And like I said, to those that are listening, when Biden started talking about Ben Franklin's portrait hanging in the Oval Office back here, and he was asked what kind of government we have, he said, Republic. We have a monarchy republic if you can keep it. A monarchy republic? All right. I mean, I can understand a gap.
Okay for him.
No, that's a gap a president of the United States shouldn't make. A monarchy republic. That was the thing we were fighting against, was monarchy. But it just shows, number one, that he's incapable of speaking in public. And number two, that they're all just ignorant as hell. All of them are.
Yeah, I mean, Trump, I love Trump, but I mean, he certainly said his share of dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like, and probably misspoke or his words have been twisted every time. But I mean, the guy's obviously, I mean, he's 2 months from the home. I mean, he's that bad. And it had to be a political ploy for him to pull out because he was adamant.
It's called a palace coup. That's what happened. It's called a palace coup.
That's all it is. The real concern is that we're all Americans. And I think fundamentally most people that I know or would want to know have the same wants and needs, the same dreams. We want to raise our children. We want our children to have a better future than we had. We want to be able to make a living, and we want to be able to pay our bills. We don't want a brutal government breathing down our back all the time. We want reasonable taxes so we can exist. So talking about the economy yesterday, and I never eat fast food. I've lost a human being in size, but I was starving. I hadn't eaten in like 16, 18 hours. I wasn't fasting on purpose. I whipped into Burger King. I ordered a double Whopper with cheese because I was hungry, and a diet soda, and it was $14, dude. 14. I remember.
Glad you didn't go to Arby's. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God, yeah, Arby's.
Arby's, you've been taking a second mortgage out to get that shit.
What are you expecting company? So I mean, everybody's experiencing it. Everybody is. People should be furious about it, and I think fundamentally, a lot of that starts with the infrastructure, meaning fuel prices, heavy regulation. I mean, God, we were energy independent 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Energy, and not only energy independent, meaning we just like we've been food independent for a century. Energy independent, meaning that we can provide all of our fuel with excess to top off our strategic reserves, and also excess that we can sell it and enrich the country as a whole. And what is the first thing he did when he took office? He killed the pipeline. He killed this. He killed that. I just don't. I mean, I don't know.
I agree with you, Donnie. But what blows my mind is that the people that I have personally talked to and have seen all throughout social media now, who are good with paying the higher prices. Like I literally had a conversation with someone that said, I will pay $12 a gallon for gas to not see Trump voted back in. I'm like, what? These are people that are allowed to vote. This is what they're saying. I'd rather pay $12 a gallon in gas than to see Trump voted back in. What insanity.
The people hate Trump because it's been before he ran for president, people loved him. Not everybody, but
hold on. I want to give a quick shout out. Dave Connell in the house. It is awesome to see you, brother. I hope you're well. I don't know where in the world you are right now. You guys don't know, but this is a legend of a man right here, and a very good friend of mine. I haven't talked to him in ages, but Dave, I love you, and I hope you're well, brother.
Very cool.
Sorry.
Very cool.
SAS Parent. He's a hell of a guy. I fucking love him.
Just, and Trump doesn't help. I mean, he's a character. A lot of us look at him and laugh. You're like, yeah, I'd probably say that shit too, to a point. And I don't think he's any different than any man in power. I mean, they're all pigs. Men are pigs in general, but he was loved. He was one of the most popular, well-known names on the planet, had a great brand. And then the onslaught, the non-stop media onslaught against him. And what I found, and I found this in my personal life with my group of friends, because I'm friends with a bunch of highly educated people, great people. But what I've seen firsthand, and I don't know if there's been studies on it, but the more educated people are, meaning they've come through the system, they went to high school, they went to college, they got the right jobs, they went to this, the more susceptible they are to believing what they hear on the news and everything, instead of forming they want to conform around the office water cooler, and that's compounded and grown. They try to blame COVID on him, and he did this and he did that. What else could he do during COVID? I mean, he destroyed the economy. The economy was killing it. I experienced it. I was making more money in 2020, especially in my industry, 2021, 2019, 2018. And now people have just stopped spending money. I mean, they haven't stopped, but only the very wealthy are spending money. And, even people that make a lot of money would be considered wealthy anywhere in the world have really slowed down their spending. And I think people are very nervous. You're starting to see Silicon Valley executives who were so blatantly against Trump now shifting focus, because everybody's a liberal till it hurts their bottom line. That's, and we're so focused on social issues, abortion, rights, on doing this, not rights like a fundamental human rights, but rights to do this and do that. None of us care if gay people get married. We don't care about trans, right? That stuff's so far down on the pole for us. I care about a strong country. I care about a good education for my child. I care about being able to pay my bills and not stressed out constantly, because even if you make good money now, if you make six figures now, that's like making 50 grand just a few years ago. It's insane.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
Yeah,
insane.
I've got my daughter and her husband were just here from Boston, and he works with TSA, and he makes over six figures a year.
Hmm.
And he was told that in the area of Boston, which he didn't live in Boston, he lives up in Burbs, but he said all the realtors there told him, you do not qualify to buy a home anywhere in this area at all. And he makes over six figures a year.
Yeah, I mean, they had to raise interest rates to try to control the economy. I mean, fuel prices. I mean, gas was under $2 a gallon. And I know that a president necessarily doesn't have a direct effect. They do and they don't. I mean, there's a lot of factors to it, but Trump had done a lot of things making us energy independent, where when fuel prices are low, energy prices in general. I don't know if you've checked your electric bill lately. When energy prices are low, then that trickles up into everything else, shipping. And my friend Mark is a truck driver. He says it's insane out there. What they're doing. Have you sent anything via UPS or FedEx lately? Joey just sent a package the other day, tiny little package. It was $28, the cheapest, most efficient way to send it. Ground.
That's the bottom price right there.
Oh, it's
nuts.
So these are all factors and I'm not asking people to be a Republican. Be whatever you want. Be in the middle. Be a libertarian. I'm asking people just to form their own opinion and take a minute and think about, do mean tweets and some stupid statements really affect you, or is it just piss you off because you just don't like the guy? Listen,
no,
if I was having
me is $200 every time I get a bag of groceries. That affects me.
If you were having brain surgery, would you want the surgeon who's a complete asshole but the best at what he did, or a guy who was mediocre at what he did, but he was such a nice guy and made you feel so good about yourself? What would you want? Your life's at stake. Our country's life is at stake right now. It's that serious, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we all pay attention to it, probably closer to most people. We just don't watch Lester Holt or some of these talking out the side of their mouth idiots on mainstream media. Anyways, I'll stop my rant, but I'm a little passionate about this.
Man, you got spun up. You got all spun up there, Donnie.
Well, I'm struggling. I mean,
it's nuts. I get it. I agree.
Work hard. I'm at the pinnacle of my career, and I'm struggling because everything is my electric bills are $500-600 for a small house. Car insurance. If I don't know about North Carolina or Tennessee or whatever state you live in, but Chris, you know how much car insurance is now.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. So someone in the comments, Rick Patrick here, mentioning about Biden wanting to reform the Supreme Court because it is critical to our democracy. So our democracy has lasted this long with the Supreme Court functioning just the way it was. And just because over the last few years, the left was not able to force through all of the groundbreaking changes that they want, foundation destroying changes they want. So since the Supreme Court denied all of that, because it is the last stopgap defense that we the people have, they want to stack that deck. They want to do 12 justices or whatever and force justices out. And the sad thing is that the Supreme Court always is our stopgap, and it is so finicky as to how many justices are on there. Whichever sides in the majorities always decide they're usually going to come down on. Not always. John Roberts is a good indication of that. But them wanting to rebuild, reform the Supreme Court, that to me is a terrifying thing. My buddy Dave, he's a Brit, and he's asking this. I'm going to pose it to you guys. What's the collective view regarding Rob Kennedy as independent presidential option? I'll give my answer, and then you guys give y'all's. Dave, in this country, independents don't stand a chance. They don't have no money. That's just a fact. They don't never have the money.
I'd like to make a quick recommendation for people watching. One of the most brilliant things that the founding fathers did is they created the Electoral College, which most people have no clue or do not understand. There is a documentary on Amazon Prime or whatever called Safeguard. It is probably one of the best done documentaries that explains exactly how the electoral college works and how that the three branches of government work in conjunction, and that the conflict that we've had with the two parties going back and forth and bickering and fighting has been the sauce that's kept our country going for 230 years or whatever, because nobody is allowed to take complete control. There's an ebb and a flow. You'll have 8 years of Democrat, 8 years of a Republican, but you'll notice a trend that it kind of goes back and forth. The genius and brilliance of this electoral college that we have, I would recommend that everybody watch that, have your kids watch it. So understanding that puts a lot of things in perspective about where we are. You can't change the Supreme Court because now it has judges that, in my opinion, have common sense, but everybody else thinks they're biased. And it's the same when the Democrats control it. You can't change the government because the outcome's not what you want it to be. And that's what they're trying to do. And that, my friend, is very scary.
Yes, it is. Sue, what do you think, man? You're being so quiet.
Well, I'm listening, and I hate to sound repetitive because I know I've said it on at least 4 or 5 or half a dozen of our podcasts, but it's my fault, your fault, your fault, your fault that we didn't stand up to the Department of Education and tell them they're doing a piss poor job in civics class. And I want to go back to the point. I'm a retired military guy, but I think anybody that tries to volunteer for the military or try to give a government job or serve in a government job or run for office, they should get the basic quiz or the basic test that anybody that immigrates to this country has to go through to get citizenship. Because it's obvious that even our president and a lot of the people in the cabinet don't understand the Constitution. Like you were saying, Biden wants to change the Supreme Court. Without a constitutional amendment, an amendment to the Constitution, he cannot change Article 3 of the founding of the foundation of the Constitution. He can't do it. So even if they got a Democrat House and a Democrat Senate, and they pass a law saying, hey, we're going to have 12 justices now, the Supreme Court's going to go right out and kick it out. Say, you can't do that,
No.
Without an amendment to the Constitution. And it goes right back to everything that Donnie's talking about and T's talking about and you're talking about, is we got a bunch of people here who in this current administration who want to just rush things through that have no legality to them, or they want to use what the Trump calls the swamp. They want to use regulatory commissions or agencies to self-regulate and impose rules on people that don't pass through Congress. That's what we really need to get back to. Unfortunately, like Donnie was saying, the higher the education, the more people are susceptible to it. It's because they didn't get the basic foundation back in junior high school and high school about how the Constitution actually works.
No, you see it too. You see it too, don't you, too, in your world?
Who are you talking to? I missed you.
I was talking.
I didn't hear
Sue.
your question.
Like, you see it too, right? That engineers, lawyers, doctors are usually the most susceptible to that. Which you would think the higher educated you are, the more you would see through the bullshit. But that's just not the case.
No, it's not. I got another piece of good news. Comments to the guys. I don't know if it is. So I don't know if a lot of you guys remember a company called Rare Breed Triggers. The ATF, they were the company that developed the Force 3 trigger, and the ATF went after them, saying they were making machine guns. This has been about the last 3 years, persecuting them in the courts. Unfortunately for the ATF, they didn't know who they were going up against, and I believe it's the 10th Circuit of Texas has just ruled that the FRT is not a machine gun. So that's a big win. These guys stood their ground against the ATF when the ATF came after them and beat them in court. So they're taking this decision back to New York, and they're going to shove it down New York's throat as well, and any other district court that tried to rule it was, because it is now ruled not a machine gun. And so that's an awesome thing. That's just a huge win for a company in the firearms industry to go against the ATF and beat them. And I just wanted to share that because I talked to Kevin earlier today. I'm sure I can put that out there, Kevin, because it's court record now, and I'm not letting nothing go. But that's a big deal, you know.
What was that ruling that they just overturned? The Chevron ruling or whatever, where they were basing things based on what 3-letter agencies' opinion on things were?
No, this went way worse than that. The ATF was caught with malfeasance, falsifying evidence. I mean, like all kinds of stuff. I mean, they did really bad work to start with, and they lied. They lied a whole lot. They lied a lot. And Sally Matthew King, I do have one. I stepped into an elevator the other day, and it started going down before I did because I had way too much whiskey. So I met the floor of the elevator before the doors ever closed.
You back talk, Mel.
That's what it was. She told him once.
She told him once. She didn't have to tell him twice. He looked like a raccoon.
She told him
once. I don't remember the fall, but that's what everybody tells me I did. So I'll take that.
He looked like a hillbilly.
pirate. On the note of the ATF, you guys keeping up with that whole gun registry thing that's coming out with the crooks? You know, because they trace the numbers off of that rifle back to his father from 2013. I was watching today. And of course, you know, Dettelbach said that there is no gun registry. They don't keep that. They don't keep track of all that stuff. But somehow within 30 minutes, they had that rifle that to Crook's father, traced back to his father, and that gun store closed. It was closed. So they have to have. That proves that they've got that gun. We knew it. But I mean, he stood up there now and said, we don't keep track of all that.
How long ago did that gun store close?
I wanted to say they were saying it was 2013 or something.
Okay. When an FFL surrenders their FFL, they also have to surrender all their 4473s to the ATF. Mm-hmm. The ATF then scans those digitally. They no longer store them as paper. They scan them digitally, and they've got computer software that reads it all, so it makes it super fast for them now to find one like that. If you remember a couple of years ago, 4473s were modified. All the personal information is put on the front page and not on the back page. That was done to make it so the ATF can scan those things super fast into their system. That's how they knew. On that, I'm telling you, that's how they knew. If the gun store was still been open, they'd had a hell of a lot harder time. Supposedly, they would have a much harder time finding out where that rifle went. So
I find it hard to believe. I think they've got a whole. I think they do have that registry. I mean, that maybe not, but I'm going with I'm going with they keep all that right there at hand.
I have no doubt they do, but I was just saying the way the law works. That's the way the law works, supposedly.
Supposedly, right, so, right.
Supposedly.
The gun debate is a whole can of worms.
It is. It is. That's impressive, though, and of course, it's a high priority thing that happened there with the assassination attempt. But yeah, 30 minutes, boom, they had it. They had it traced back.
Yeah.
Yeah, expect before the election that they're going to come after hard. They're going to come again on another assault weapons ban or something against AR-15s. They're going to come after.
They may have already known.
If you guys watched, if we watched the hearings, if we watched the hearings with the Secret Service director on there, Kimberly Treatle.
Oh my God!
And if we watched Director Ray, or if you listened, I listened to. Director Ray, director of the FBI, getting beat up today, but every other congressman alluded to the AR-15 and how that they need to go after the AR-15. So
they're going to keep trying.
Speech that I caught. Yeah,
they're going to keep trying. Right here, Patrick asks, anyone else where Biden's going to shove through a whole bunch of crazy executive orders to tie everything up for this? Everybody's got to remember, folks, executive orders don't mean shit except how the various branches of the government operate, and any incoming president can undo any executive order he wants to. They're not legislation. It's basically like your employee handbook at work. These are your rules that you have to abide by. That's what executive orders are. Now, they try to stretch it and claim that they can do that they have far more authority than they actually do. But that's really boiled down all an executive order is. It's like an employee handbook.
Right. Well, you heard the FBI guy, somebody commented on, I heard that too, saying that he had a collapsible stock is the reason he got so close. So what's a standard AR stock? Let's say a fixed, like an A2 stock, maybe 11 inches, 10 inches? I mean, Sue, you should know that. Like not very long. Collapsible stock's going to go down to maybe this.
I think that was a misquote. I think what he wanted to say was a folding stock, like an arm system or something like that.
Whatever, even
a folding stock, he could have put it into a book bag.
That was in a t-shirt and shorts, though. I mean, I didn't even see a book bag unless he ditched it.
What kills me is
unless he ditched it.
20-year-old kid. There was a ladder in place. He walked up, somehow carried a rifle, climbed a ladder, got onto a metal roof in the middle of July. How hot was that roof?
Shorts.
Right. Yeah. Climbed up there, probably nervous as hell, and took a 130-yard shot and almost hit a man in the head. Untrained. I mean, he may have went to the range a few times, but he's obviously untrained. And I mean, it's just they shit in your mouth and tell you it's chocolate. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Just stand your back and tell you it's raining.
Yeah.
That's it.
Conspiracy theories aren't so much theories anymore. It's I don't even know, man.
I know they're saying he had a bike and had bags. Is that was the case? Did the guy have a bag then? Did Cooks have a bag? Anybody know any more about that?
I didn't see a bag. Oh, so here we go. They're saying that during testimony, Colonel Paris said he climbed an AC unit and didn't use a ladder, and that supposedly he had stashed the gun there beforehand. Well, then that's an even blacker eye for Secret Service for when they did their search and not finding it.
They did do a search, obviously.
In the words of Cheeto, this is an ongoing investigation, and I'm not at liberty to comment on that.
Of course not.
Well, she can't comment anyway because she's unemployed.
Yeah.
Well, she is now.
Well, I mean, she was DEI. She was hired because she's a woman. And the first thing she did is call for more diversity. I would say call for better trained agents. Who cares if they're women, trans, people of color? Who cares? As long as they have proper training and can do that.
Wait a minute. Yeah. This is a good point. First Spider just made. How could he have a car, a truck, and a bike there? Because they said they found an IED in his car. I remember that.
Yes.
They always do.
So, yeah. Good point. Good catch, first responder. Good catch. My brain's not fully geared.
Have you ever seen a shooter not have an IED in their car or their house? Like, are you going to shoot them or are you going to blow them up? Have you ever think about it? Almost every mass shooter has always had some bomb or bomb making material or something at their home or their parents' house or whatever. I mean, and he also really kind of fits this mass shooter kind of template, right? Disenfranchised young person.
So now there's a van even. Now there's a van. This guy's got every mode of transportation under the sun. I mean,
he probably had a horse too. But,
he had a Greyhound bus staged halfway point.
The school shooters, the Colorado shooters, the movie theater, they're all people on, disenfranchised people on the fringe. I saw pictures of him dressed like a woman and with makeup and all that. Not saying that's a reason, but they all kind of fit this genre. I mean, have you noticed that and seen how many of them are like normal, rational? What's normal, but people that had their act together and had a good living, had a family, and this and that. No, I mean it's just fishy, man. It really is fishy.
Of course it is. It's all being done. I mean, you got to look at timing. I don't believe in coincidences. All this stuff happens for a reason. So,
Absolutely.
we go back through the FBI's recent history of interrupting terror plots. And when you dig down through those, you find out there was no plot involved until the FBI picked somebody to involve, and then it was a terror plot. So I don't
trying
really
to go
have
after
much
his
faith in
father,
anything they come out with.
Were they going to go after his family?
That's a good point. Hold on, that's a good point. That's something that really makes me nervous. Like Donnie's already pointed out, here's a 20-year-old kid that basically didn't have any training. Now, Director Ray said that he did visit the site 3 times. There was he used a drone. He used a drone a few hours before. He flew the drone over. All right. He came very close. That the aiming point was the medulla oblongata. As a sniper, I know that's the aiming point, an inch back, an inch down from the hole in the ear. That will separate the spinal cord. Somebody, either this kid did a lot of research, or somebody was coaching him, and that makes me very nervous. I don't think the kid beat all those layers of security on his own just by pure chance. Somebody taught him how to do a good recon, where to aim, and things like that. And I doubt very much if he looked it all up on the internet or got it off of YouTube.
Now, I saw a
No.
I think there's somebody else. There's another player in there, and somebody did a lot of coaching for that kid.
Yeah, it was the Iranian handlers. Because remember, right immediately after shooting, there was a sudden Iranian plot to assassinate Trump. So it was his Iranian handlers. Of course, that's where that'll go. Yeah, we drew it all back
I saw
to the
a picture
Iranians.
of the rifle sitting on the, probably from a drone, and it looked like a 16-inch barrel. I know AR-16s. No, it's a 16. And it looked like it had a red dot on it. It didn't look like he had a
It had an EOTech.
LVTO.
He had an EOTech without a magnifier on the rifle. It was running an EOTech without a magnifier.
We have shot enough to, could I have made that shot? Probably with, breathing and, maybe not on a hot roof. I know Sue could have. With a red dot, what's 130?
No, I can.
Huh?
I can make that shot all day long. But, a 20-year-old kid without much shooting experience.
Yeah,
so,
that hit in the shorts part to me, man, that he had to have been cooking. It was, there was what Melanie from the podcast the other night, they had like over 250 people drop from, heat exhaustion and everything else. But this kid, skinny, little nothing, laying on a metal roof, how 100 and whatever degrees, burning the shit out of him, and he's gonna breathe and make that shot. I don't know. That's pretty funky to me, man.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to get breath control when you're laying on a piece of hot tin. Go,
young and dumb, and you're. I'm sure you got to be all hopped up at that point. Adrenaline's pumping and all that kind of stuff. Plus, you're getting burned, and I don't know. It's pretty fishy. I'm going with the fishy thing too.
Chris, what did he do? Can you do it again? Like
that dance? You like that dance? You just want to see me dancing? I got to pay money for that.
Was that the dance right before you?
Is that the OnlyFans or portion?
Oh no! I imagine the dance before I fell into the elevator was way more elaborate than I just did.
Way better than that one.
Yeah, probably.
I just don't know why the snipers didn't see him and shoot him first. That's, I've heard so much BS. You don't know what to believe.
Especially when they knew the dude was there an hour before he took the shot. He was a known threat an hour before they took the shot. He took the shot. Why is the principal still on the X at that point? When you've got a known threat, why the hell was Trump allowed to take stage? Why wasn't the venue locked down and that dealt with? But no, they let him go up there anyway. Because the shooter was in place when Trump was supposed to start speaking, which was at 5, but he didn't get out there until 6. So that dude laid up there for a fucking hour, and all kinds of civilians pointed him out. Then there's a story of the cop who was boosted up, grabbed the edge of the building, pulled up, and saw the guy. Supposedly, the shooter rolled over. He must have had magical hearing, unless the cop yelled at him, and pointed the rifle at the officer, who then let go. Smart, because he can't really shoot back with one hand. hanging from a roof. He's not John Wick. But at that instant, why was there not a call put out that they had an active shooter in the venue and the principal, again, not moved? I'm not a PSD guy. I've never done, personal security detail stuff like that. But I'm no moron. Even I can do that, I'm not jumping off into the conspiracies on it. What I am saying is it does smell an awful like 3D old fish at this point. It definitely does smell like 3D old fish at this point.
Yeah, and that's the congressman, Marcus Luttrell's brother. What's his name? Josh Luttrell.
Yeah, he's cool.
He brought that up. He said, he's got a lot of military experience, just like his brother. We all know Marcus Luttrell is a lone survivor Navy SEAL, but his brother Marcus is a congressman now from Texas, and he said, "Why is there no Bosco? Why is there no avalanche?" The word avalanche on the radio in any open source. As soon as that police officer saw somebody on the roof, or if that threat or that suspicious person, as soon as he turned to a threat, hey, we've lost him, we're going up on the roof to look for him, somebody should have called avalanche over the open net to get the president or the former president off the X, get him off the stage, or at least postpone for 10 minutes until they could have dealt with the situation. I'm in total agreement with that. I don't know what happened, but it sounds to me like there was a communication error there, and it didn't get to the executive team for the Secret Service that there was a threat out there.
Part of that problem existed because there were 3 separate agencies involved, and actually more, but the 3 primary agencies were the local PD, the local sheriff, and the Secret Service. The Secret Service does not allow anybody other than themselves on their own comms. So you've got 3 agencies with 3 different frequencies at work who cannot talk to one another, except through incident command. So local PDs, hey, there's a shooter on the roof. That now incident command, wherever the hell that's at, has to put that up to Secret Service.
Yeah,
that's
but you
the
have,
problem
you have
too.
state
They don't
police.
have instantaneous communication.
You have state police and LNOs at the command center. You have them close to the executive team. There are people there with their radios, their handheld radios, within shouting distance of the executive team. They should have delivered a code word by voice saying, "Hey, postpone or get the president off the podium."
Yep.
Yeah. We are
Absolutely.
very lucky that he lived. I mean, I don't know if he would have killed Trump, I feel like this country would have tore itself apart. I'm just grateful. And I wouldn't want Biden to be shot either. I wouldn't want any leader. I mean, that's just horrible to be assassinated. I don't hate anybody like that. I may dislike someone and their policies, but not enough to ever wish physical harm upon them. But it's dangerous propaganda. And then they come on and say we need to cool everything. All I've seen on social media since this happened is an explosion of negativity, especially on the left. They're vicious. And to
people, they're just lamenting and wailing and gnashing their teeth that mixed. And again, as I've said repeatedly, I'm going to say it right here again, guys. Listen to what those people are saying and understand that they are perfectly acceptable with political violence. To them, that is a justifiable means to the end. So remember that shit. These people think this is okay. They think it is okay to assassinate the political rival if you don't like him. They think it's okay to punch somebody in the face on the street who they don't agree with, or kill them, or worse, do other things.
They think it's acceptable. They think it's acceptable during COVID to hold mass riots and burn down cities, including Washington, D.C.
Well, today, the Palestinian protest.
If that accomplishes their goal. But when you look at what happened after January 6th, not saying that January 6th was acceptable, but everybody calls that an insurrection compared to all these cities burning down and all these people getting hurt during the George Floyd riots and then the riots in D.C. And when they're burning a library and Trump and the Joint Chiefs of Staff go and cross the street to just show some kind of solidarity towards that building, and they get ostracized. They get tore apart on the social media and the media, open source media.
Sue, did you see today the Palestinian protests where they pulled down the flags, were burning them, put up Palestinian flag? Why is that not an insurrection? I mean, I don't think people understand that word and what it means, because they've been told that the day we should not mention was an insurrection. It wasn't an insurrection.
Again, pointed out, the people with higher learning don't learn the basics. They get, everybody assumes that they already know what's in the Constitution, and they had civics class in junior high and high school. So when they get to college, then they start studying Marxism and socialism, and they get told that this is a better way. This is the alternative, and they swallow that propaganda. So most of those people putting up those Palestinian flags, they're college kids. They don't know any better. They don't know.
But if you rip down a pride flag and set it on fire, you will be arrested in this country and charged with a hate crime, a felony. Just saying, just pointed out, that there are some animals more equal than others in this country, and you got to figure out which side of that fence you're on, and you got to do it quick for your own, longevity, let's say.
Yep. Animal Farm. Yeah. George Orwell. Yeah. Some animals are more equal than others. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, it's. I think we're all animals, and
that's where we're at.
Who's the running mate?
We are.
What are you guys on that? Who's going to be the running mate? Hillary or Michael?
Gavin, probably.
Think Gavin?
Beyonce.
No, I think
Beyonce.
I think she'll go with Kelly Scott. She's got to get a conservative white guy in there. That's what's going to happen. An older conservative white guy.
Imagine how much more historic do you make the first female presidency than it be the first female presidency ticket with a female president and a female vice president?
A female vice president.
Sean, whatever her name was. Yeah, watch. It's being talked. They're thinking about it. Plus, they're circling the bowl here, guys. If Kamala Harris is the best they got, Pete Buttigieg came out and said he was going to run, and then notice how the Democratic powers tamped everybody down real fast, and we're like, nope, we're going to run Kamala because she'll say anything we tell her to if she can read it on the teleprompter. So little words, guys, not many syllables. Let's keep it short for her. And then they're going to run another woman probably with her as well. I'm not sure who. Maybe it'll be Cheeto from the Secret Service. Maybe they'll run her for vice president.
There you go.
With the way she knows what the hell they're going to do.
She knows how to double.
Well, she'll be like,
Cheeto.
I tried to let it happen. I did my best, y'all. So.
If it'll be any woman, if they do run a woman, it'll be the governor of Michigan. She'll run.
Yeah.
Gretchen is the
hateful
one that I heard.
Dirty
I've heard Whitmire. Yep.
Or the chick.
Think of how
that tried to run for governor of Georgia. Forget her name, but
Stacey. Abrams. No, they don't go Stacey Abrams.
No, Stacey Abrams got burned out. She got called out when she went when Stacey Abrams went from $40,000 worth of debt to owning 4 mansions in Georgia. She got busted. That won't happen.
Whitmire will be their obvious choice because they will fall back on like I mentioned earlier, there's no plot for a crime until the FBI gets involved for kidnapping attempt. They'll fall back on that and try to use for all the credits they can. But again, Trump's team should have a field day with the information that came out after that. And I don't see how that. I'm waiting for campaign commercials. I think this is going to be a fantastic season. This is going to be like back when Bud Light used to make the best Super Bowl commercials, This is going to be like that. I think we're going to have campaign ads for that.
Real American heroes.
This is Kamala Harris running for president. Can you imagine that?
Oh my God.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
How did he get elected to be attorney general? I've met Pam Bondi, who was the attorney general of Florida and worked with Trump closely. I've done business with her. Wonderful woman, sharp as a tack, tough as nails. I mean, she was a great prosecutor in Hillsborough County for a long time. That she deserved that position. This Kamala Harris is just an nincompoop.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna have to find somebody with half a brain to help her out if that's actually how it goes.
Well, and let's remember too, when Biden was elected, she refused to move into the vice presidential home. She refused to live there and demanded to stay at her own home. And where Secret Service had to redo everything to accommodate that demand. She would not live in the vice presidential residence. That shows a real American, doesn't it?
I don't think anybody wanted to assassinate her, dude. like
Trump wise
alive. I look, even if you're on the left, I mean, if you just blindly support her because you hate Trump and that's the Jim Jones Kool-Aid that you like to drink. But I would challenge people who think that way to really step back and use your own brain and think about, wow, do I really want this woman, this human being, not that a woman, as she is a woman, but I just, in general, do you want her to be in charge of the nuclear code? Do you want her to run the country? Do you want her?
Look at these comments after Trump almost getting clipped in the melon. I mean, the answer, if Trump is the other possibility here, the answer is yes, they will take that complete moron over Trump just because it's not Trump.
Most popular president by vote in the history of America.
He's got a good point. They would run a ham sandwich against Trump and vote for the ham sandwich.
Damn straight.
As long as it's not Trump. It doesn't matter who they put up there. Their campaign, the campaign for the next 4 months is going to be anybody but Trump. It doesn't matter who they put up there.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the term flipping the script? Like, have you all heard that term?
Yeah.
So if you step back and look, how much rhetoric is 24/7 from the media, from elected officials about comparing Trump to Hitler, right? Look at the parallels between what they do. And Hitler convinced an entire nation through propaganda to hate to the point of violence and murder and genocide a particular group of people because of their religion. And think about how powerful and susceptible are people to that. That's what they're doing. But then they flip the script and they accuse this side of doing it. Trump's a dictator. He's going to be Hitler. What has he done that would even show any signs of that propensity to do something like that? I've looked for it and haven't seen anything.
Anymore right here. Just found the kryptonite to the Kamala Harris campaign.
Yeah.
Do they all of a sudden know what a woman is? First woman president or first female president? Oh, well, we can argue those terms all day long, can't we? It's going to be interesting to and the right needs to get over this. We're going to play. We want a fair fight. We're playing fair. We're not going to, wallow in the mud with them. The only way to beat a pig is to fight with the pig in the mud because he ain't coming out of the mud. So get in there and fight the pig in the mud and be proud. Like when they're all crying over the cancel culture because so many people who lamented the failed assassination and were crying and saying all this terrible shit about how you should be shot. Some of those people lost their jobs. And even people on the right are like, this isn't us. This isn't how we behave. They're failing to recognize that the political contest environment is evolving. And you need to be evolving with it or you will become a part of history, like the fucking dinosaurs. You got to get your shit in gear and realize this is legitimately a fight. I don't need physical fight, but we've got to use every tool at our means, especially the great ones they created to use against us for so many years. Start using them back. They're effective and they work.
Did you hear Biden talking about how respected we are now in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, he not
it's
tonight.
Like we're not. I mean, these people literally they say the exact opposite of what's going on. Yeah, I mean, blatantly, it blows my mind.
Yep. So you can see that respect in the world. You can see the respect of Putin, the respect of North Korea, the respect of Hamas. tremendous respect now for America because of Biden and his administration. God bless him. I'm going to miss him. So much respect. We are valued and respected in the world again. That was sarcasm.
You'll not win by maintaining the moral high ground. Usually, hey, that's just a fact, y'all. But it'll be interesting to watch how this shit unfolds. It's going to be some interesting theater. That's what I'm going to call this election, is theater, because we can't vote our way out of the situation we're in. Even if Trump gets elected, they're going to use lawfare against him, just like they did last time at all the state levels. But I think if when Trump wins, he should come out swinging. Any state that wants to claim sanctuary state stuff or start filing lawfare suits against him, he should snatch federal aid from them immediately and start mass deportations. We should withdraw federal U.S. aid funds from any nation that's not 100% on our side for whatever purpose. That means Ukraine. Sorry, guys. I'm not a big fan of that one.
Yes, agreed.
But I think it needs to be done.
Love the people.
They talk about the great, I do too. I feel for the Ukrainians. But there's too much corruption there and everything else, and it's not our fight. The fight would end through negotiations. Let them keep Donbass and Luhansk and Crimea. Sorry, cry a river over Crimea, guys. Hate your luck. But this is what you got now, and learn to live with it. But it's not our fight. It's not our job to police Russia for the entire.
Are you guys old enough to remember?
And Trump had this settled before he left office. Putin wasn't going to do that shit when Trump was in office.
Nope.
Remember when Reagan took office? How quickly the Iranian I'm old enough to remember that. How quickly that was resolved, like instantaneously. I wonder if
you send that'll happen. You send a missile through Gaddafi's bedroom window and it sends a message to the world. You know what I'm saying?
After that, he did, yeah.
Pay attention to our own doorstep, y'all. That's more important.
I think everybody's looking too far ahead. What we need to do is we need to actually get ready for a lot of cheating and a lot of diversion, a lot of ruse playing during this election campaign. I mean, I personally, I cannot see how somebody can drop out of the race and still hold the executive office of the free world, or be the leader of the free world, if he doesn't have the energy and the stamina to run a campaign. So that should tell all of us right there that he's really not making the decisions. So the next 4 months, the next 4 to 6 months are going to be very, very volatile. And everybody needs to get their game face on right now.
Think about how crazy the past couple last weeks have been, too, though. We have the assassination attempt on Trump. We've got the I just lost my train of thought. We've got never mind. Come back to me.
I trained left the station a long time ago, dude.
It's a long day. So I was like Chris, minus the black eye.
Who's got the noise on it?
Yeah, I'm just tired. I'm super tired.
It could be here. I mean, it's raining the beat and sand out here, maybe coming over the mic. It's like stupid rain outside right now.
Is it? I don't know, my friend. I'm just going to make popcorn and sit back and enjoy the show, man. Because what can you do other than vote and trying to convince people on the other side's like banging your head against a concrete wall. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, I remember though, but
I'm done trying to convince anybody.
We had Cheeto resign. We had that Microsoft blackout worldwide, and I'm sure there was a lot of backdoor action going on with that bullshit.
Did you guys hear? I forget the name of the company, about a software company that was just hacked that does a ton of work for the Pentagon and federal agencies and everything, and were able to retrieve a lot of data, which they immediately started selling. They're not talking about that much, but if you Google it, you'll find out there was just like a Pentagon hack. And that data is out there. That was a big one. They're not talking about, but it did just occur. So
CrowdStrike, yeah. Yeah.
CrowdStrike,
I mean,
CrowdStrike is
it's
one.
kind of, did you guys all see that Obama produced movie on Netflix? The
Which
end
one?
of the
Leave the
world
world
movie?
behind?
Oh yeah,
Leave the
Yeah.
world
yeah,
behind.
yeah.
I mean, don't they always tell you what they're going to do before they do it?
That's
Have
what
you
the
heard that?
Simpsons said.
No, seriously,
They try to make it more digestible to the public. You bet they do. Yeah.
how can anybody hack into the Pentagon? I mean, that's just preposterous, dude. It should be on a
Third party.
I
It was
mean,
a third party source. Third party
was it?
source.
Yeah.
Not the Pentagon directly. So, but on that note, y'all, thanks for watching, everybody. Trying to think of what's going on next week. Fuck if I know. I'll be around. We'll be here doing our thing. T, what do you want to leave everybody with tonight, man?
You know, I'm to the point with the way everything's went that anyone that gets into office at this point in the world is probably not that good of a person. It's just the lesser of two evils. And I really think that if Trump makes it without getting assassinated, and he actually makes it in office, this whole administration of printing more money in the past couple of years than we printed in the entirety of printing money, I think the economy is going to crash, and it will be the new COVID for Trump. It'll be Trump's fault that the economy, we went into a ridiculous depression, and he'll be the one left holding the bag. That's my prediction for the Trump thing.
There might even be a whole nother pandemic for Trump. Donnie, what do you want to leave folks with?
We're all Americans, and I love my fellow Americans, even if they have different views, as long as people can be reasonable and rational. I don't want any harm to come to people. And, you know, everybody on here, we're all like-minded. We all do the same things. We all know each other. We just got to stick together, lay low, watch out and see what's going on and pay attention. Because I think we're in for a ride in the next 6 months. I think it's going to be scary. Even if he gets elected, you know, his inauguration will be crazy. I mean, it's just, we're in, I mean, maybe the next 4.5 years, we're in for it. We're in for a ride, man. I do like Trump's choice for vice president holistically.
Yeah, JD Vance, good dude. Yeah.
Anybody that's a Marine, because you're always a Marine, you know, has a ton of credit in my book. I know they're not all perfect, but I think right now he's the right man for the job. I think if he gets in there and makes some changes, maybe we have some hope to turn this thing around. But we're going the way, we're just going the way of ancient Rome. It's a textbook picture of what we're doing now. No external threats. We weaken ourselves to the point that external threats can then destroy us, and that's where we're at.
Absolutely. Raw Stu, as our resident sage, what say you?
I say start your Christmas shopping now. Get everything that you think you need to take.
Soap on a rope.
You think you're going to need to take care of yourself and your loved ones. Prepare it now, and come December 25th, like T said, if we have a new president coming in, then we can all exchange pocket constitutions and to each other during Christmas. You know, that'll be our Christmas.
There you go.
Hey, if the shit
like
hits
it.
the fan,
Might be the only kind left around.
We've been saying on here all along, just be ready to take care of you and your own, you know, and stick close. Everybody stick close together.
Stick close.
Yeah, it hits the fan. We're all going to T so his wife can defend us.
That's what I'm depending on.
Well, I'm gonna
get my 6.
That's what I'm depending on.
I'll get your 7, baby.
And like Sue said, guys, stick close to each other. That's what we got to do, is stick close to each other. And we will have a Patreon live next Tuesday. So for the patrons, pop on in. Got some stuff coming for you guys too. Wait for it to get here, and we'll get back to doing some fun over there. But you guys know the drill. Be good at it. Stay safe.